I'm Tim Stevens, and this is the 2026 Hyundai Kona. It's been a few years since the Kona got a complete redesign, but it's still one of the freshest looking crossovers on the market. Does it have the tech and the performance to keep up in its ultra competitive segment? We're going to run you through all the numbers, then we'll give it the full Capital One Auto Navigator review treatment to find out. Under the hood, we have a 4-cylinder, 1.6-liter turbocharged engine that makes 190 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission with all-wheel drive. In the city, you'll see 25 miles per gallon, 28 on the highway, and 26 mpg combined. Up front, we have LED lights plus active shutters on the grille for better aerodynamics. And then on all four corners, we have 19-inch alloy wheels wrapped in all-season tires. Out back, we have a power hands-free liftgate that opens to expose 25.5 cubic feet of cargo space. Fold down the rear seats, that expands to 63.7 cubic feet of cargo. Inside the Kona, we have seating for 5, and up front, we're treated to both heating and ventilation in the front seats. There's a heated steering wheel as well, and behind that, a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, plus a 12.3-inch touchscreen in the middle. There is integrated navigation if you want to use that, or you can bring your own with either wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, plus a wireless cell phone charger to keep your phone juiced up while you're doing it. And all of your media will play back through an 8-speaker Bose sound system. Backseat check on the Kona. It's a nice, light, airy place to be. We've got the sunroof up there too, which helps give a little bit more light here, plus these small windows behind me. Good amount of headroom and a good amount of legroom too. This is where I would have the front seat if I were driving the car, and I'm still pretty comfortable here. And some decent creature comforts too. We've got deep pockets in the doors for water bottles, a couple of cup holders here in the fold-down armrest, 2 vents there, and also a pair of USB-C ports for keeping your phones charged up. That's all the details on the Kona. Let's take it for a drive and see how it performs. Underway in the Kona now, and I know that style is not everything, but ultimately when you're in a car that looks as good as this one, I do think it's worth talking about. And this frankly is one of the best looking SUVs on the road, I think, today, especially in this gray color. I'm a big fan of these kind of understated grays that are becoming a little bit more popular, a little bit more common in a lot of cars at all price points. And this one I think looks really nice. Hyundai calls it cyber gray, and it really actually matches the interior very well. Also, which means you've got kind of this monotone effect going, which is, I know, not going to be for everybody, but for me, it's definitely working. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like it because this light interior is probably not the kind of thing that you would opt for if you've got kids who are prone for donuts, or if you've got dogs who are going to be shedding all over things. You might want to go for a more darker color, but for me, I think this looks absolutely fantastic. And overall, the layout and the design of the interior, I think, is really top-notch as well. Just the way that Hyundai has presented everything in here, the sweeping displays we've got here, and the layout of the buttons I think is quite nice too. I know this is also a little bit of a controversial thing right now because a lot of manufacturers are pushing more and more controls onto the touchscreen and getting rid of physical controls. Here though, Hyundai has actually left a lot of physical buttons in here, so we've got nice tactility for a lot of common things that you need to do, whether it be toggling between different features in the infotainment system, going from navigation to media to that kind of thing, using the HVAC controls here. We've got a nice rocker, for example, to raise the temperature up or down if you want to, and physical controls for seat heating and ventilation and steering wheels. So having actual buttons like that I think is really nice, and again, it depends kind of what demographic you're in, what your preference is, but for me the layout works really nicely. And the fact that we've got ventilated seats in a crossover SUV in this category is a nice thing too. This is definitely the kind of SUV that regardless of where you get into it, at what price point you get into it, you're either on the low end going to feel like you're getting a lot for your money, or even on the high end you're going to feel like you're doing pretty well too. And you can go with a pretty big spread. You can get into a Kona for the mid $20,000 range, about $26,000 on the low end. In this one we're at more on the high end, around $36,000. And for that, you do get a more powerful engine. We've got the turbocharged engine here connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which means that I'm coming out of these corners and putting my foot down. The car is definitely more responsive. I've also got these shift paddles if I really am feeling racy, but honestly, the automatic transmission will do a fine job of picking its own gears on its own. And really, you know, this is not a track machine by any means, but it does have good, sharp steering, a reasonable amount of body roll, and good suspension too. But more importantly, on the road, the ride quality is good. And even at higher speeds, as I come up to faster speeds, there's really barely any wind noise at all, and this is a very quiet and calm car, which I think is much more important than outright dynamics and that kind of thing in a category like this. But again, even if you go with a lower end Kona, you're still going to get an SUV that feels like it's punching way above its weight in terms of the interior design, the exterior design, the overall fit and finish of the machine as well. It's definitely top notch. And so here you've got the rare SUV that regardless of how much you spend on it, you're going to feel like you're getting a very good deal.